Sometimes less really can be more. And on that note, let's have a look at this little camera. SJCAM M10 Plus. Another colorful addition to SJCAM's growing portfolio. It comes with handy list of features which should make it a great choice for good bang for buck item, provided it delivers what it promises. Let's start with what is at its heart. The M10 Plus is rocking a Novatech NTK 96660 CPU. While that is a fine name for a chip, not much information was found about it as far as specifications go. So, to get a sense of who Novatech is, I looked at the company and their dealings. Well, Novatech makes various electronic components mostly to do with display systems and then sells it to other companies who then uses those components to make monitors and cameras and such. They are a reasonably big company with market capitalization of about $71.8 billion. To give you an idea, GoPro's market capitalization is $2.7 billion as at November 2015. So the chip manufacturer is big, but that is no indication of quality. Testing will answer that question. The camera comes in a fairly unassuming box, though one thing that SJCAM does is includes a concealed code on the side of the box, using which one can check the item's authenticity via SJCAM website. A good practice since a lot of us buy stuffs online, and a way to make sure our purchase is legit is appreciated. The standard package includes the basic items such as charging cables, etc., along with a healthy number of accessories which will allow for a good variety of mounting possibilities. The camera itself comes protected by foam padding inside the waterproof case, and the battery was inside the camera, which technically makes it ready to go out of the box. Looking around the camera, we have the lens at the front that bulges outwards. To the left we have the micro SD slot, micro USB and micro HDMI port along with a speaker grill, and at the back we have the 1.5-inch LCD screen, and to the right we have up and down button with the Wi-Fi button in the middle, and there's a mic hole next to it. At the bottom we have the battery compartment, at the top we have the mode and action button and a indicator LED. On the topic of physical properties, I find that the build quality is improved from the previous model that I reviewed. Possibly the composite of the plastic used is different or something else to a better effect. One thing I'm well pleased to see is improved battery compartment. The release latch is wider and can be opened relatively easily, relative to the 5000 Plus. Apparently the SJ5000 and the M10 Plus have the same battery. As I understand, the SJ4000 series uses the same battery as well. The problem here is that the model number is not printed on the battery, which makes it difficult to research if the battery from one model will work with the other. As far as battery life is concerned, the experience is fairly positive. On time lapse, I'm getting about 3 hours. When I went traveling with it, at random use I easily surpassed the 80 minutes operation time that has been advertised. The battery indicator is also realistic in showing the amount of charge remaining. The waterproof case that is included works as expected, and I have used it in various situations as well. The design of the case has been updated recently, and the updated case has 2 additional buttons for up and down, which this version does not. The additional 2 buttons will help in accessing the menu system. However, in real life I haven't felt this is such a big issue. And now it's time to test the camera, so it's time to hit the road. Let us begin with the gyro function. In order to see it working, if you notice, the car in front of us is approximately steady, while the car we are in is moving quite a bit. The camera is attached with the car, so as the car moves and shakes, so does the camera. but the gyro stabilizer is compensating to keep the image aimed at one point. As a result, you can see the lines of the road is passing us by without shaking. I'm really pleased that the stabilization system used is not a digital one. Here is a comparison, M10 Plus and the SJ5000 Plus. The 5000 Plus does not have stabilization, and the difference can be seen when the car is moving. When the car is stationary, the story is a little bit different. Which brings me to the next topic of discussion, picture quality. Outright, as we can see, the two different image sensor and the processor is providing us with two different kinds of images. If I'm nitpicking, I would have to say that the SJ5000 Plus is the better of the two. For example, the grass seemed to have a little less noise in SJ5000 Plus. Also, the trees on the other side of the river has more details with SJ5000 Plus as opposed to the M10 Plus. But one of the more important reasons why I consider the SJ5000 Plus to be better is due to its Panasonic sensor and the Umbrella chipset. The two together is able to handle the changing lighting condition a bit better and has a better dynamic range. So what does that mean in real life? Well, notice as the car is moving between the trees and so forth, see how the two camera handles the sky and the ground, the highlight and the shadows. But when we come out to the open area where the lighting conditions aren't changing, the advantage sort of evens out. The picture quality sort of becomes similar. If I don't compare the videos side by side, but rather discuss the quality of the video, be it as it may, I think the camera produces a reasonable result. Yes, there are flaws, but there is the low price tag to justify that. The sharpness is appropriate, motion is good. Where the image is not over or underexposed, the color reproduction is serviceable as well. Let's look at different settings too. This scene was shot at 2560 by 1440p at 30 frames per second, the highest this camera is capable of. The video appears fine, it maintains all its characters and quirks. The video that you are watching online has been compiled at Full HD at 30 frames, so the higher resolution is scaled down. But the bottom line is that it works just fine at this resolution with fair results. At Full HD, the camera does 60 frames per second. I tend to use this setting most because for an action camera this makes most sense. Full HD resolution for adequate sharpness and 60 frames per second for better motion recording. Kind of best of both worlds as far as what this camera has to offer. Most shots that I have taken for this video was using this setting. 720p at 60 fps works just as well as Full HD at 60 fps. The only reason why anyone would want to record at this setting would probably be to save on memory card space, in case if you are traveling for a few days and forgot to bring a spare, maybe. 720p at 120 fps has a problem. The picture is not as sharp. The most likely cause could be excessive compression, or data rate at full quality was too much for the system to handle, or whatever the case may be. With some post-processing, the shot can still be improved a bit, and we can then make the slow motion at quarter speed. It is still imperfect. I'm not sure if this issue can be fixed with future firmware updates. I'm hopeful. Now, it's not so bad that I will call it completely unusable, rather it is practically at borderline between pass and fail. Most general purpose users may be able to overlook this, but those who specifically need good slow motion video needs to consider this issue closely. One last thing about features is digital zoom. The camera is able to magnify 4 times, although generally we do not prefer digital zoom due to loss of quality. Here it appears to manage a usable shot, just about. So in a sports situation with no other alternatives, you can make do with it. For the next segment, we listen. For a built-in mic, this is not so bad. I'll tell you a little about a journey I went on and how I used the camera and the results. I use more than one camera and I'll mention the information as we go along. We traveled south of Sydney to an area called Jervis Bay. The idea was to film dolphins and whales underwater. Unfortunately, the weather was not very favorable. We did find whales, in fact a mother and a calf humpback whale. The tour guide told us that this sight is fairly rare, and also unfortunately we cannot get any closer because the mother whale is very defensive of its baby. To try my luck, I plunged the action cam into the water, but the distance was just too great. What I really wanted to film was this, but from underwater. You see, on a good day, and if we are lucky, the dolphins, they come right up to the boat to surf the bow wave. They are free creatures and decides on their own if they want to come and play or not. Sometimes a lot of them show up all at once, but not every day. While in this visit, it was not the right day for it, there is always the next time. And just like that, when they're done having fun, they just leave. Back to the camera. My arrangement was like this. The M10 Plus on the end of the pole that goes underwater, and the SJ5000 Plus on top to record what goes on above the water surface. Mind you, when you do this, if there's a strong current on the water, the resistance might just pull the camera and you along with it if you're not careful. Heading back from the Bay Area, it's last few minutes of twilight. No street lights, just the headlights of the car. This is the picture we get. As expected, the low light condition causes more noise grains, but if you intend to use the camera in car mode, this will serve the purpose. If I'm to sum it all up, I'll explain it in pros and cons. Cons first. Slow motion at 120 fps. Let's just say it could have been a little bit better. Novatech chip. This isn't the best out there, but yes, so far in this video we have seen that it gets the job done, and that's what counts. And now the pros. 2K resolution. It says 30 frames per second and it delivers. No more, no less. Gyro stabilization. It is absolutely brilliant. I love it. Battery life. When out and about, the battery did not trouble me. In a single charge I got a lot done, and thumbs up for that. Meets expectations. The M10 Plus promises to be an action camera, and it does just that. It meets its purpose. Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi can be very handy to frame shots and hit record from a distance. Build quality. The fit and finish is very nice, and there is no nasty surprises with the software either. At the time of making this video, the official price tag was $139. Which is quite reasonable for the build quality and features. The bottom line is that it serves its purpose. It does what it sets out to do, so the next time I go traveling, it's fairly straightforward choice for me to bring the M10 Plus along, because I know I'll be using it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Your comments about the video is something I look forward to. And please remember to subscribe so that you are updated about our upcoming videos. You can support our channel via Patreon, which I do greatly appreciate. See you in our next video. Bye for now.